Space, the boundary of human achievement, the new frontier.
It's just a cough.
Yeah, right. And the Earth is flat.
Treat your cough seriously with Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin, because it's never just a cough.
In a few moments, you will have an experience which will seem completely real. It will be the result of your subconscious fears transformed to your conscious awareness. Warning, this tape must not be played by government personnel. It can be extremely harmful and result in severe trauma. You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's good to see you. I must go. I know I'm a go.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
Lexi, tell us something interesting.
Okay, the Earth is flat, and a witch stole his pants.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
I know how we're different. Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it.
Holy
Do you think the Earth is flat, Snoop? What do you think?
It's a flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day.
Und jetzt der Verkehr. Vorsicht, liebe Autofahrer, auf der A3 Oberhausen Richtung Arnheim ist die linke Spur aufgrund eines UFO-Absturzes gesperrt.
They're drumming my head.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the Peanut Gallery is glad to hear the Pentagon has lifted the mandate for troops to be vaccinated for COVID. Meanwhile, a more contagious subvariant is on the move, and Peanut calls BS on all of it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it is not, look at date, Joe Biden. January 10th, 2023. Ooh, almost screwed that one up. Wait, did I say 23 last week? Oh, man.
I don't know, but
Oh man, I don't think I did say 23 last week. Oh, thank God. Then you were listening to a rerun. Quote of the day goes exactly like this one short thing. It's crazy infectious. That's it. Who said that? Paula Cannon, a virologist at USC. We're going to talk about that. My co-host, she's lovely, she's sassy, and she is one of the biggest flat earth rock stars ever, with better hand tattoos than Aleister Crowley and Ozzy put together. Karen B. What's going on, Karen?
Hey, Mark.
I just had to mention Ozzy because when I was driving today, I was scanning the radio stations and Crazy Train came on. I was like, oh yeah,
it's a good one.
Yeah, I had a friend. And Peanut, look that up for me if you can. Was Crazy Train on Diary of a Madman or Blizzard of Oz? I think it was Diary of a Madman. I don't remember. Old metal. Hey, Karen, being the current queen of Flat Earth, it must be hard to find Flat Earth friends. Do you know an easy way to find cool people like yourself and solid info about our stationary horizontal level plane?
Why, yes, that would be the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
Sure enough, it's the perfect gift for friends, family, and complete strangers. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. My name is Dave Weiss, and I heartily endorse this product and or event. It was Blizzard of Oz, by the way, 1980. Yeah. I'm assuming. Yeah, Blizzard of Oz. Don't forget, you can also find this program on BitChute and Brighteon, Rockfin and Rumble and all sorts of other stuff. I don't really care as long as Elon Musk isn't tied to it, in which case I think we should boycott it. YouTube is not the end of Flat Earth. It is just the beginning. I'm in a feisty mood tonight. Why? Because I got a lot of stories and they're all just so ridiculous. We got a bunch of news we got to cover. Also, we got shout outs first. Shout out to Flat Earthers, Stephen Carpenter of the Deftones. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Go to the strong.family, won't you? Is that still the place? Strong.family?
That is still the place. Absolutely.
Pick up some merch. We also got, hang on one second. My channel, my videos, and I got to see the meetups that are out there before I do the other one. There's a meetup January 21st in Florida. The Brian Stavely, I think, is going to be at that one. And there's going to be a meetup in South Carolina, January 15th. Brian Stavely, I think, is going to be at both of those. And you can see the promos for those on my channel. There is also going to be a meetup. Let's see here. Saturday, January 14th from 6 p.m. till whenever at Charleston's Restaurant, 3409 South Broadway, number 400, Edmond, Oklahoma. Location is 15 minutes north of downtown Oklahoma City by car. Please RSVP by calling Jesse at 857-344-6209, or you can email him at 300kmileprius@gmail.com. Note to the people that I said last week, the Peanut Gallery was going to be attending this one. I'm sorry, because of family obligations, he will not be attending this particular meetup. But Jesse and all the other usual people will be there. So, hey, go have fun. Also, shout out to Jenny from Bolton's. The people that did that the cool commercial that we still have. We still have a commercial.
Yes, yes, we do still have the commercial now.
Turns out, you want to know small world? Here's small world for you. She tells me her grandmother lived on Whidbey Island. In fact, she lived at the naval base at the north end of this island called Oak Harbor, which Jenny probably didn't know. And, right, get this? Her grandmother says her mother was conceived there. Yeah, so that's how Jenny and I are connected, right? So
wow.
Jenny, yeah, I know. So that's why she and I, through some psychic link, were connected. So yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, if Jenny's listening, you know what that means. It means you got to leave your husband and bring the kids. Almost got a spit take out of Karen. That's why I moved the punchline up. I was hoping I could get you to like choke on whatever you're drinking there.
Coffee.
Right. Anyway, Jenny, you're too good for him.
Coffee all over my keyboard.
Oh, you're doing coffee?
Yes.
Oh, right on. All right. Is there anything else? Any other meetups or anything we have to mention before we get to the headlines?
There are some meetups that you can find the information at flatearthfestivals.com. But Brian is having a meetup
Let me go over there and look.
The South Carolina one.
Yeah, there's a South Carolina one, and then there's also Milagrosa Cross Canyons hike in January in Tucson, and then January 15th, the City Tavern in Greenville, South Carolina. And then there's going to be more. I'm going to be adding more meetups there too. So if you go to flatearthfestivals.com and at the top menu hit Flat Earth Friendly Meetups, just keep checking back there.
Groovy.
I think there's a camping event I'm going to add too. Somebody sent me info on a camping event, so I'm going to put that up there soon.
All right.
So check it out.
All right then. All right, let's get to the headlines. Oh, we got a bunch. We are going to start with the shot, otherwise known as Vax No Vax, otherwise known as what has been happening for the last 2-3 years. I don't even remember how long, to be honest. But there was an article that caught my eye, and the title of this show is called NPC Nonsense. And I want to make this as clear as I can. Anyone at this point that is still moving forward with whatever mainstream narrative is being pushed out there are NPCs. They're free guy. They're lemmings. They're people that you should have not any time invested in if you can help it, because they're just, basically what's happening is the news stories that are being fed to them, it's a precursor. They're just going to repeat it. They're going to parrot it back. As you know, not like what we're doing. We're going to criticize the hell out of it, but they'll be like, oh yes, we should do this or not do this because that is what the news says. So that's what this first story caught my eye about. This is from USA Today. Ready? And this was done not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, it was done on the 6th. Okay. And it's called People Who Haven't Had, I couldn't make this up. People who haven't had COVID will likely catch XBB. We won't even do the 0.1, 0.5. I don't know why there's a decimal point after the letters. I don't really care. And many will get reinfected, experts say. Variant XBB is very contagious, meaning subvariant, as Peanut likes to say, meaning everyone is at risk, even if you've already been infected. As the US enters year 3 of the pandemic, here's an update, right? This is from Karen, by the way, Karen Weintraub. She's like one of the lead people at USA Today. It's just preaching this, right? So I want to read part of this article. The newest COVID variant is so contagious that even people who've avoided it so far are getting infected, and roughly 80% of Americans who've already been infected are likely to catch it again. Listen to the narrative. Essentially, everyone in the country is at risk for infection now, even if they're super careful, up to date on vaccines, or have caught it before, said Paula Cannon, remember her, a virologist at USC. It's crazy infectious. Is that a scientific term? Is it crazy? Is that something you'd throw around in papers, published works, peer-reviewed type stuff? You want to say a term like that?
Right.
Crazy infectious, said Cannon, who is recovering from her first case of COVID.
You have to be crazy to believe it.
Caught when she was vacationing over the holidays in Britain, where she's from. All the things that have protected you for the past, I'm not going to do a British accent, in the past couple of years, I don't think are going to protect you against this new crop of variants. The number of severe infections and deaths remains relatively low despite the high level infections, she said, thanks to vaccinations and probably previous infections. But the lack of universal masking means that even people like her who do wear masks are vulnerable. Okay, so remember, she stated now that whatever's out there, nothing you do is going to help. At all, right? Doesn't matter if you got anything previously, doesn't matter if you're wearing masks, doesn't matter if you got shots. You're just gonna, and if you get it, you're just gonna keep getting hit with it, right?
Yeah, the air is lava.
That's brilliant. Oh my God, Karen, did you just come up with that?
No, I've been saying that for a while.
Oh, that's awesome. That is great. That's a t-shirt. Somebody get a t-shirt. The air is lava.
I'm gonna make
it. That's awesome. So and then you go down here, right? And we won't go the latest variant called XBB, blah, blah, blah. Its growth is probably due to its characteristics. I don't want to talk about the boring crap there. It's a good idea to do what you can to avoid getting infected, said Ziad we'll call him just Ziad, Chief of Research and Development at Virginia St. Louis. Is that right? VA St. Louis Healthcare System? Is VA stand for Virginia?
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking veterans. And a clinical epidemiologist at Washington University in St. Louis. No, I'm thinking it's not Virginia. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's still early and there's a lot of unknowns. He said every infection makes someone vulnerable to a bad course of the disease.
Oh, It's VA. That's veterans.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was thinking. To the lingering miserable symptoms of long COVID, that whole thing. Reinfection buys you additional risk. He says, okay. And then you go down. It's like, we won't go into the details, but let's see. How long does it last? How long are you contagious? And it's like, can you get COVID more than once? Now, you remember back in the day when they said you couldn't get it more than once?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they're just saying yes,
They
straight
just
up yes.
make it up as they go along.
Yeah. Some people who've had a mild case of the first infection get hit harder with the second or third time, while others might suffer less. Even if you've had it before, that doesn't mean your next bout is going to be the same, said Cannon. They're just jumping back between Cannon and this guy, right? It's possible that her recent infection was much milder than her husband's, for instance, because she had caught a head cold a few days earlier, while her husband hadn't. Goes on and on and on. How to avoid infection, right? And you know this, right? First, you can guess what the first thing is. How to avoid infection, right? First is getting vaxxed. Wait a minute. Didn't you just say in the first part the vaccination has nothing to do with this? Second is wearing a mask. You also said in the first part that masking doesn't do a damn thing.
This is so crazy,
right? And it's like, okay,
all that stuff we just told you that doesn't help you. Yeah, do all that stuff.
And if you and they also say if you get any symptoms, this is the part that's driving me nuts. I know I'm lingering on this story a bit, but it's driving me insane because I'm seeing it even here on the island, which is if you feel sick in any way, test yourself. There are people, doesn't matter if you're blue team or red team, and you guys probably know some of the listeners out there who are testing themselves. It's like if you get a cough, sneeze, you feel a little warm, they're just going out and buying a test, right? And I keep hearing from all these different people. It's like, oh yeah, I tested positive. It's like, wait, well, how do you know? Because I tested myself. It's like, why are you testing yourself? If you feel, you wouldn't have done this 3-4 years ago. Fine, you feel a little warm. What's that mean exactly? And if they test positive, they say, what do you do? Oh, by the way, they also say avoid crowded indoor spaces. When have I heard that before? And then what do you do if you get sick, right? Isolate yourself from not only people, just isolate yourselves from even people in your own house, right? We've heard this before. Contact a doctor, get more tests. They see literally get equipment like rapid COVID tests, extra mass, a thermometer, pulse oximeter, blah, blah, blah. It's just, oh my God. Anyway, it is a narrative that is being put out there that is just driving me insane because I dare anyone to, I did this myself. You say, when you search inside an article, you can say, Control F, and you can search inside an article. At no point, this is the part that drove me nuts. The point in that article, did they mention the word flu? Flu isn't a thing anymore. Nobody talks about flu anymore.
But it's still there. It's part of the trifecta now.
Flu, well, yeah, but flu has been replaced with COVID. Nobody gets flu anymore. It's always COVID. You either have COVID or you didn't. If you didn't, nobody says, oh, it was probably just the flu. I have never heard anyone say that in the last year.
No.
Everyone just says, oh, yeah, I either had COVID.
He's got COVID. And everybody's like, and it's like the worst thing they've ever had too. Everybody talks about it like it's just, I barely made it through.
Yeah, they psych themselves out. It's like, yeah. You remember the flu that you complained about 3 years ago? Yeah, that's what you run into. No, this hits way harder than that. Really? Or did you convince yourself that it was 5 lights and not 4 lights? Is that what happened? I know some people are like, where are you going with the 5 lights, 4 lights thing? It's like, look it up. Okay. Moving on. Let's go on to why this is relevant. The narrative is being pushed forward, and the lemmings, the NPCs, they're just gobbling it all up. And when you hear a lemmings talk about XBB, because they're not going to remember the XBB 0.1, 0.5, or wherever the hell it is, the naming scheme is terrible. The next one down is from CNN. It's a follow-up to last week. Damar Hamlin, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he's been moved. He's in a different hospital. In fact, I think he's going to be released from the hospital. Remember, he was the 24-year-old Buffalo Bills linebacker that had, again, they quote unquote had cardiac arrest. Right?
Yeah.
They're not even saying heart attack. They're saying cardiac arrest because heart attack that sounds too harsh, too blunt. It's like his heart stopped. He died on the field. That's why the game was postponed and then canceled. He died on the field. And so what's this article about? I want to mention this article because the editor's note, right? The guy that wrote this, Paul Rickoff, is an independent activist, U.S. Army infantry, combat veteran, blah, blah, blah. And the author of Chasing Ghosts, he wrote a book on the war. He was also a guard, linebacker, and tight end for his high school and college football teams. right? Because the NFL is a problem because they're riding a fine line here. And he's coming out and basically, I guarantee the NFL got a hold of this guy to write this article for CNN. He's basically saying, I'm not saying that football isn't hard and you may not want to put your kids through football, but football changed my life and made me the man I am today. That's what this article is about. But he can't say I'm pro football. He's basically saying he's dancing. He's dancing this line because the NFL does not want to. The NFL, the powers that be, so want to say, oh, it's football's fault, but they can't because you don't want. It's a multi-billion-dollar octopus that's got his hands in. I mean, it's the number one sport in America, right? I mean, everybody freaking.
And to keep churning out recruits.
Oh yeah, we dedicate. I mean, what do you think bowl season was for? We'll get to that. The bowl season's all to get the best into the pros. Anyway, interesting article. But the article is called "His Cardiac Arrest Hits Home for Parents," and he's basically trying to calm parents down because I imagine there was a bunch of parents literally when that guy went down during that Monday Night Football game. It's like, you're not playing football. Like saying to their 11-year-olds or 12-year-olds or whatever. It's like, yeah, you're not playing ball. And he convinced. Actually, he mentions this. He's going, I didn't let my parents didn't let me play football until I was 13 and I had to beg them. So it's this weird little thing that he's trying to do here. All right, next one down. Going along the spin of Damar from the nerd's perspective. This is from Scientific American, so you know it's true. And it's an editorial, which is opinion in the sports section. Damar Hamlin's collapse highlights the violence black men experience in football. Oh, it gets better. The terrifyingly ordinary nature of football's violence disproportionately affects black men. Okay, you're going to convince me of this. Millions of people watched as Damar Hamlin, 24-year-old player, fell in the game, right? Immediately, Hamlin rose to his feet and then collapsed. Players from his team and Buffalo Bills and the opposing team, the Cincinnati Bengals, created a tight huddle around him, because he died. The scene, but he's alive now. This scene was horrific for both its regularity and exceptionality. Okay, I don't know. You can mix those two in the same sentence, but that's fine. Matt Gutman of ABC tweeted as much. The scariest part of this is that the hit, in fact, was not scary. It looked terrifyingly ordinary, which I have said since the beginning. Anyone that watched this replay, if you haven't, watch it again. It was a boring tackle. It was a short yardage receiver to linebacker tackle. There was nothing special about it. The ordinariness of men running into each other at full speed. Oh, see right there. It's like, what are you talking about full speed? There was no full speed. It was a short yardage play. Represents a normalized, even rationalized violence that is routine to this American game. And then he goes into, and the reason why this guy's writing this is he is and I couldn't make this up. I haven't heard this term in years. He's a cultural anthropologist.
He's a professional BSer.
Yeah, pretty much. I spent the last decade learning how black college football players navigate the exploitation, racism, and anti-blackness that are fundamental to its current system. I know that it's not new to highlight the inherent violence of American football. The sport requires exceptional athletes, so on and so on. We liken these men to gladiators and warriors. Yeah, sort of. But it's not. I mean, there are rugby players that look at American football and go, whatever. You guys are wearing freaking pads and helmets. We do all the same thing you do without any of that crap, and we're fine, mostly. Anyway, so it's they're spinning this as much as they can, but they're focusing on the hit. It's like, oh, this hit, this happens. Like, no. At least you got the first part right, which means the guy, even though he's a nerd, does watch ball. It's like, no, the hit had nothing to do with it. But since we're on that vein, we still got time. Let's go to the next one down, which is if the hit was bothering you so much, then why do you have medical personnel watching all the other NFL players from all the other teams so closely that when a Los Angeles Rams rookie, right, Russ Yeast, got hit and seemed a little off on the sidelines, you benched him and you benched him for the rest of the game. And then afterwards you sent him straight to the hospital. You're so twitchy. So twitchy right now because that's what the NFL would do. If I was the NFL, that's absolutely. Not only would I call the medical trainers from any other teams moving forward into the playoffs, I would get other medical advisors and I would send them to those games and I would just have them watch the players. I just like on a swivel, just looking for if any player looked even remotely dizzy, like shaking his head or wobbles even for a second, I'd go over and talk to him. because you cannot have what happened again. Remember last week we were talking about the lightning defense. The only reason they got away with it is because he said, well, it'll never happen again. 1 in 10 million, 1 in a billion. Maybe a billion's too high. 1 in many millions. It's never, ever going to happen again. And yet when this guy, right, looked a little woozy, what happened? Oh, you sent him to the hospital. You don't want him on that field. Oh, no. That's never going to happen again. Your trainers are going to be looking, anyone, even looks remote. It's like, yeah, come in for a breather there, Bobby. Sit down for a second. Let me check you out. Pen light in the eyes. And anyway, so he goes to the hospital and he had a bruise in his lung. He did get hit pretty hard. Yeah, sure. But he did not have heart issues. But that's the point. He didn't have heart issues, but they still sent him in. So do we have time? Yes, we do. We'll take a couple more. And you're saying, well, Mark, these are high profile athletes, right? The peak of their game, you don't know what's going to happen out there. You know what's happening with their body. It's like, okay, one thing I do know is that DeMar went down in the first quarter. This wasn't one of those end of the games. Everyone's dying. The Gatorade isn't working anymore. This is first quarter. You're just going through the motions. Your adrenaline may be up, but you don't see a lot of, blowout injuries in the first quarter. Generally don't. Definitely not in short yardage place. So the next one down, this just happened before we went on air, by the way. This is from Fox News. Air Force football player Hunter Brown, dead. He's 21 years old. Air Force football player Hunter Brown suffered a medical emergency on his way to class Monday and died, the Academy announced Tuesday. He was 21. Brown, a sophomore center, so big kid, for the Falcons from Lake Charles, Louisiana, was on the way to class from his dorm room when he collapsed. He again, it's a little odd because I don't think he was hit by a linebacker or he wasn't carrying the ball. Nope, just walking to class. And the difference was, here's the difference, is that in an NFL game, you got people that can treat a cardiac symptom, a heart attack issue right away, right? This guy, they couldn't get to him fast enough. He just dropping, students walking around. Who knows how long it took to find somebody in the middle of the quad to get him. So sad, but he did go down and he didn't make it. Let's do one more before the break. And we'll do these two together, and then we'll go to break. And you're saying, well, Mark, he was an athlete. Who knows? Maybe he was working out that morning. Maybe he got his adrenaline up. Well, okay, let's go to the next one down. Next one down. This is a girl in Vegas, 16 years old. She was playing flag football. Not a lot of contact in flag football. And she went down on the field, as far as I know. She was playing flag football, goes down, and by the time the paramedics showed up, again, the only way you're going to make it, you've heard this time and time again, is if you have somebody on the scene immediately, medical personnel on the scene. If you're down for even 10 minutes before the ambulance shows up, you're not going to make it. Her name was, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this right, Ashari Hughes from Desert Oasis High School. Before the break, and I know we're going to the break kind of on a down note, but I got to mention this, also in Vegas. Oops, sorry, I clicked, you know what I did? I clicked on that other one. I clicked on her twice because I put it in twice. Which is, actually, I know we haven't done lucky and unlucky. All these people are unlucky, but we will get to the lucky after the break. This is Las Vegas student collapses in the bathroom after PE. Again, heart rate up. That's the theme here, heart rate up. He goes from the gym to the bathroom, and because there was nobody else in the bathroom, he passes out, heart attack, and died. His name was, they had his picture there earlier.
Jordan Brister.
Yeah, they had his picture there earlier, Jordan Brister. But and he was a senior, so 18. So yeah, there you go. And they did a crowdfunding thing for his funeral. So I would imagine the Las Vegas school district has probably got some issues. But anyway, when we come back from break, I swear we will move from unlucky to some more lucky people.
Alrighty.
And anyway, Karen, let's do that wonderful outro music.
Alrighty.
Okay.
On the next What's back to square now that you need her?
a blue dot? Those questioning where we live are not just here. They are everywhere. Of course, this info is hidden from you, but the app shows you that no matter where you go, you aren't alone. We are everywhere, and we are growing. Find your tribe today.
Shout out to Karen B, Mark Sargent, and David Weiss. I'll be checking out that video this weekend at the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock
I missed
app
the Moon Day one
on YouTube.
No,
Or
it's after this. It's last, and then it's stepping out. Did you forget?
No, I don't memorize the.
There you go. Join me, Karen B, every Moon Day.
Every Moon Day.
9:30 a.m. Eastern,
yeah.
on Rockfin, Twitch, and Facebook for an early
By the
live
way, I
chit
totally
chat.
misread
Open
that last
phones,
article.
open topics, always
I
chill.
misread that last article.
See you
just talked
there.
about. Look in the chat.
Dropped after peeing.
I did. When I first saw that, I was like, really? They put that in
All
there?
right, I should have said physical ed. Welcome back to Strange World Part 2 of 4. It's you, me, Karen B. And yeah, you know what? That was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album.
Night and Day.
Yep. And you know, by the way, I forgot to mention, I got a poster sent to me by anyone that wants to send me stuff in the mail. My physical address is actually in the description box of every single video I make. It's up here in Whidbey Island. And this one was sent to me. This poster was sent by Nizin Lopez. He sent me a cool print of some of his artwork. Kind of looks similar to tattoo artwork, but it's kind of fun. Pretty sure this one's called the Black Rock, and I'm pretty sure that's Mecca in the middle, and there's religious symbols all over the place.
Yeah, lots of sacred geometry, lots of esoteric symbolism. Cool.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Okay, we are still in the middle of Lucky Unlucky. We have a couple more unlucky because you know the critics in the forums, some of the truther forums that I'm in, you know, they say, well, Mark, you know, elevated heart rates, you know, flag football, that could happen to anybody. It's like, and the kid that was in physical education class, that could have happened to him too. All right, fine. You're gonna go on that road? Sure. Let's look at someone that had nothing to do with physical education. Let's look at Rich from the star, Adam Rich from 8 is Enough. Sudden and unexpected. There he is. If you guys want to know what Adam Rich looked like, the kid from 8 is Enough, the big show back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
He's my age, by the way, or was my age. TMZ, If it bleeds, it leads. And if it bleeds, it's probably on TMZ. And since we're on that, it's like, yeah, but he was 54. Anything can happen to a 54-year-old. It's like, all right, fine. Let's end the unlucky list with this young woman. And you haven't seen this in Western media, but it certainly was on our side, which was from RT.com, which stands for RussiaToday.com, which hasn't been banned. Rising MMA star, dead at 18, Victoria Lee, considered to be one of the sport's most promising figures. Yep, 18 years old. She was 3-0. She was kicking ass, taking names. You scroll down to her. I do not know what nationality she is. Somewhere in the Pacific Rim. Peanut, help me out here. What nationality is she? Anyway, you scroll down. Perky little Asian girl. And sudden and unexpected. Don't know what happened, but we can probably guess. Since she was in the MMA, she had to travel, do some stuff with passports, but I feel bad for her. Always feel bad for people that are younger than myself, which is getting...
Yeah, what a shame, man.
I know. But same time, the content that we've been putting out pretty much nonstop. It's not like we flipped. It's not like we were all, this is...
No.
We weren't there from the beginning.
We always knew this was a scam.
Yeah. This was a bad idea.
We knew from the jump, just saying, the flat earthers knew from day one.
Yeah.
Like,
in fact,
all over this. We're like, no, don't go for it.
I don't know anyone from the conference that you did. I don't know anyone in the conference that's like, yeah, dude, I'm really feeling a little tense and regretful because I got it. And now, now what? No. Everybody was on the same page. We were preaching that right off the bat, which is different from, like, again, why the NFL players, why the first game ever in NFL history was canceled during the first quarter, because the players were sitting there going, oh God, it's real. It's happening. It's starting to happen right now. In fact, I'm sure that Air Force guy, that lineman that went down, that happened just before the show. Don't think for a second, because all these guys in the NFL, a lot of them are very, very young. The life expectancy, the career track of an NFL player is not very long. So these guys probably watched. It's like, dude, we totally played those guys. I know, or some people probably knew who he was. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about. So it's like, well, Mark, isn't there any good news? Did anything good happen from this? Hang on, who's writing me? Oh, she was American, by the way. That MMA girl, born to Chinese. She was Chinese Singaporean. Singaporean, is that a term? She was Korean, Chinese, Korean, Kenley, and Korean-born Canadian mother. Wow, she was all over the place.
Yeah.
Her father was Chinese, Singapore. Her Korean-born mother, it was Canadian.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just American.
Yeah, she's American. That's all that really matters.
Was she born here?
If you're American, you're cool. What?
Was she born here? She's American.
That's a good question. Did she have American citizenship? Don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna look her up after this.
If you're born and raised here, if you grew up here, you're American.
Yeah, damn right.
Whatever.
Proud of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so was there any good news? Yeah, there's some good news. Sort of. Like this one from Fox News. Not everybody was, again, there were people on our team. I wonder if this girl knew Novak. So Italian tennis star embroiled in fake vaccine certificate scandal. Tell me more. Camilla Giorgi, an Italian tennis star who had 3 career singles titles and more than 400 wins on tour, was caught up in a fake vax certificate scandal. Daniela Grillone, a doctor from the Giorgi family, alleged in an interview with Italian media that the tennis star, damn doctor, they got to him and he ratted her out, received a fake vaccine certificate, and that none of her family members have received the shot either. And in addition, he was named, in a December report that was outing people, revealed names of celebs and athletes who allegedly didn't get the shot. Grillon was arrested in February 22 for allegedly providing shots with fake, basically placebos, according to Australian group. She also allegedly provided fake certificates to high-profile figures in Italy. Yeah, so she was the hookup. She's like, yeah, I've totally got this covered. You need something? Come to me. And and I think she wasn't even charging people. She was just hooking them up. So good for her. That's awesome. And she goes, I have not received, I can confirm, blah, blah, blah. I have not received any payment in that case. I am deeply upset and sorry for my action. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think anything's probably going to happen to her. I don't think she's going to get banned for much. She's not going to be able to go to the American stuff, though. She made it to the third round. So here's the thing. So remember, Novak got thrown out of the Australian Open last year?
Mm-hmm.
She used her fake thing and got in, and she made it to the third round. And she went to America and lost in the second round in America. So she's currently ranked number 66 in the world, which wasn't too bad. And she just recently lost in a match at the Adelaide International, which is happening in Australia. So yeah, she's been doing great, and now she's outed.
And your DNA is intact. So
yeah,
there's
again,
that.
Good for you. So again, by hook or by crook, she pulled it off. Meanwhile, Novak, stand-up guy, who's like, screw you guys, I'm number one in the world. What are you gonna do? It's like, well, we're not gonna let you play. It's like, so he didn't. And the next one down is Fox News. Sorry, wrong one. Did I put that in there? Yeah, Novak. Oop. So Novak Djokovic, the flat Earth tennis star, missing U.S. tournaments over the COVID travel restrictions. So what you guys may or may not know is that the United States still doesn't allow international people to come in if they're not vaxxed. So even though Karen could go to Italy right now, you take off, go to Italy, come back, no problem whatsoever, right? Karen had no sweat. She can travel internationally. However, if somebody just decided to fly in from Italy, no. You have to be vaxxed. I think Italy, so it doesn't really matter. So what happened was the United States has decided to kick the can down the road through April 10th. So what they said is U.S. transportation said that any non-U.S. citizens traveling into the States must be able to provide proof of COVID vax, regardless of country by country restrictions previously applied during the still ongoing COVID pandemic through April 10th. Whatever. So he's going to miss the first two opens. He doesn't care. As long as he gets the U.S. Open, he does not care. And plus, he's not going to back down. He's like, well, if you guys want to back that off before April, that's fine. You know how the government works. It probably won't be backed off until at least April. But then remember, they pushed that out back in October. It's like, oh yeah, 6 months. Let's just kick it down the road again. So anyway, Novak, good for you. Hope you keep doing what you're doing, and we'll miss you. Next one down. Oh, I gotta mention this one. This is from, because you guys were probably wondering. It's like, hey, what happened to Hawkeye from the Avengers? Well, I think he ran himself over with his own plow when he was up in Tahoe.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, he had to have 2 surgeries. But I want to scroll down here, and I want to mention this, and that is, you guys probably have noticed, but I think it deserves to be mentioned. It's like, what's odd about that picture when you scroll down? It's like, oh, right, all the personnel are wearing masks. They're all different. By the way, is any 2 people wearing the exact same mask? Well, probably those 4 yellow ones in the back, but everybody else is like all over the place, right? Mm-hmm. Hospital personnel are still being required all over the place, and it varies from state to state and from county to county. Like Peanut was telling me, Oklahoma doesn't really care, not so much. Idaho doesn't really care so much, but there's other states up here in Washington, for example. Doesn't matter if it's a hospital or a physical therapy outfit, because they're tied to the healthcare industry. If you're an employee, you have to wear one. Now, they may not enforce it when you walk in. You know, they may, just because they don't want to deal with the hassle. Because it's how many people, it's like, you should wear your mask, and be like, screw you. It's like, go back and forth. I'll call the sheriff. It's like, the sheriff's not going to do anything. That whole line of thought. But hospital workers are still wearing masks. If I'm not mistaken, and I don't know if Karen knows or if anybody else, but I've heard that the flu shot, they're not giving just flu shots anymore, meaning it's a combo deal. And I'm not trying to allude to anything, but it's one of those things where, again, if you're dumb enough to go in for a flu shot at this point, you probably shouldn't trust what the hell's going on there. You know what I mean? So anyway, so Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye from the Avengers, is going to survive. And he's wearing a mask, even though it doesn't look like he looks so out of it.
He looks like hell. He
looks bad.
He's got like 2 black eyes. He jacked himself up, boy.
Yeah, and Brian Burton Master Gunner just sent me something. because he's listening to the show, and he said that Pfizer launches trial of combination flu and COVID vaccine. Of course they are. Of course they are. Why wouldn't you? All right, moving on. So yeah, he's gonna live, but yeah, Hawkeye looks really bad. In fact, he was beat up in the movies, and he still didn't look as bad as this.
Yeah, he's real life fuckered up right there.
Yeah, 2 chest surgeries will do that. I'd love to hear exactly what the hell happened with that snowcat.
I was reading something where like he was plowing snow, and then he got out of the thing and it started to move or like roll down the hill or something like that. Like he didn't set the brakes, and then he was trying to jump back into the damn thing.
Oh, that'd be rough.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to move from that. We're going to segue to space stuff. Believe it or not, we haven't talked about flat Earth and the fake space stories, but let's talk about them a little bit. Which is, thank you, by the way, for all the people that are sending me these articles. It's been a good week for all sorts of stuff. Okay, so this one is from Grunge. Scientists discovered a strange mini-moon asteroid orbiting Earth. Now, the image that I don't know if Karen could focus on or not, that is a great combination image. First off, they're using one of David Weiss's favorite Earth from space, shots where the United States is monstrous. This one's even worse. It's just freaking monstrous, right?
Yeah.
And yet they superimpose that with again a fake rock and a fake sun, and in fact the only thing that even would NASA would even claim was remotely real would be the Earth shot, which is of course it's all just fake. Yeah. Anyway, let me read part of this, which is one of those rocks discovered was in December of last month in an asteroid known as 2022 YG. It was first seen on December 15th. Then it was discovered by an observatory in Crimea. Don't know why we didn't catch it over here. It was spotted by amateur astronomer Gennady Borisov, who had previously discovered the first blah, blah, blah. Let me see here. Estimates it'll pass near Earth will be around December 22nd, 2023. So we got some time. Despite having been we only spotted it recently, but they say it's been there since 1961. Okay. Been orbiting Earth since 1961, and they guess it'll stay in orbit till 2181. Why am I mentioning this? Well, because it's a space story, and it's these stories. They're just going to keep doing these over and over. Near Earth asteroid, Christmas asteroid, Halloween that looks like a jack-o'-lantern asteroid, and so on and so on. Next space story down, which is, this is probably my favorite one of the week. This isn't even a clown world, but it might as well be. This is from The Independent, so they fact check, which is Korean spacecraft. I said that right. Not Japan, not China. Korean spacecraft sends back stunning images of the Earth and the moon. This is a short article. Let me read it for you. Danuri, South Korea's first ever spacecraft to orbit the moon, has sent back stunning images of the lunar surface. If you have to say stunning, then it's absolutely not. And the Earth beyond. The spacecraft, which has the official name of Korea Pathfinder Lunar Orbiter, but is better known as Danuri, left Earth on board a SpaceX rocket in August. Never heard of it. It had been traveling towards the moon ever since, which means it was there. It was heading. Artemis would have either gone past it or one way or the other, right? It was in pushing orbit about the same time as Artemis was. And but new images show the Earth rising out over the top of the moon in a perspective of our planet that is rarely seen. Oh, you mean except for Artemis? The precise detail of the camera on board the lunar orbiter means that it's possible to see the craters on the lunar surface. That is some of the worst CGI I've ever seen. It looks like it's 15 years old, as well as the vast size of the Earth in the background, which is crystal clear, I might add, but also in black and white. Okay, why? Right? And then the images are a test of the lunar orbiter, which itself is a major test of South Korea's plan to explore space. Never heard. They were not as part of the launch-capable countries, so they used a SpaceX rocket, apparently. Let's see here. It ends with this. The spacecraft will also be testing a range of other technologies, including a space internet system that allows for broadcast between different planets.
Right.
So they're hooking up Wi-Fi for the planets. This Korean rocket. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Denuri has been beaming back images using that system. Oh, you mean these black and white ones that are absolutely fake? In the hope that it proves reliable enough for future missions. Please, trolls, please look at this shot and then email me and say, this is why it's not fake. Really? Why didn't Artemis ever mention these guys? In fact, why didn't these guys mention Artemis? If this, it's just awful, terrible. That's why it's just a short, it's a stupid space reinforcement thing. But again, the lemmings, the NPCs, the free guys out there, they're going to read this and be like, oh yeah, Koreans got something that just orbited the moon. Yeah.
And inside this article, they have this video. It's called "What If We Never Landed on the Moon?"
I know. Didn't you when you saw that? I was going, that's sort of ironic.
Yes, exist.
We went to the moon and never went back, and nobody went back, and there's nobody there even now. Okay. How much time we got? We got time. Next one down, I think, is from Futurism. Yeah.
Yes.
Futurism. Okay. It is. Oh my God. This is from Futurism, right? This is a nerd site. We are completely puzzled by this video of a Chinese astronaut playing ping pong in space, right? Their theory, because he's playing ping pong by himself, right? But he's bouncing a ball in midair. And the theory is, one theory is that it's just a ball hanging on a very thin wire. And he's just hitting it back and forth. So, kind of like the old paddle balls, but with a wire that's actually attached to the ball that's attached to the station. That's not what caught my eye. I mean, you can play the video if you want. There's nothing special. It doesn't impress me at all. What caught my eye in this case was the still shot from the top of that article. You know what caught my eye, Karen? How all the blue matched perfectly in that shot. And we're talking about a lot of different things, right? The things on the floor compared to the things on the wall, the handles on the wall, compared to his pants.
Yeah, that's weird.
And I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's not weird. That's only weird if you're not thinking green screen. You see, with green screen, there's no green in this shot, by the way. With green screen, you need markers. And the better spaced out the markers are, the better you can do, the better things you can do with green screen. And I think that's what they've done here. I think they've cleverly, because again, the pants, why would the pants match the floor? Exactly. Match that pack on the wall, match that handle on the wall. Why are they all using the exact same hue of blue? Why is that? It's like, oh yeah, you do this if you were shooting a movie. You've seen all the movies where they do green screen stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I think they're doing here. So interesting article. But again, even the headline kind of throws me. It's, we're completely puzzled by this video of a Chinese, not to mention, by the way, that you're in a fake space station. The space station that the Chinese apparently built that has nothing to do with our space station, that there's no time lapse. There's no evidence that they actually built it at all. It just happened one day. It's like, oh, look, we're in a space station. Kind of like David Weiss is in a space station when he's being interviewed, when he all of a sudden flips to the space station. It's like, look, and he pretends he's like floating around. Brilliant. Absolutely freaking brilliant. Next one down. Speaking of David Weiss, this was sent to me. This is The Rock, right? So this is from the Epoch Times. This is Finland's 500-ton, oh, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Kamakivi rock. No, that's not a Finland adult film.
This wants me to subscribe or some shit. Just
here, click on the here. I'll pull up. I'll give you The Rock. Here's The Rock, and I'll just give you the image of The Rock. Oh, how big is that thing? Good. There it is. There's The Rock. So Finland's 500-ton Kamakivi rock has been balancing on top of another rock for 11,000 years. And somebody said, oh, hey, David Weiss wants to give evidence of how the world's not moving. This is it. So if you believe, do you have it up on screen? You see The Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you see this rock, supposedly it's been sitting in Finland for 11,000 years, perfectly balanced. Geologically, I don't know if that's true. Seems a little iffy to me, but hey, you know what? All it makes me want to do is go knock it over. Seriously, I want to take a small explosive charge or even a pry bar and just go in there and But yeah, it's a great thing because again, it's balanced perfectly. I mean, it does look like at one side it could roll. I don't know how seriously. That's a great rock. So I think it's a great example of how the Earth is moving. Okay.
How did it get there?
I don't. That's a great question. We're gonna do clown worlds. We'll probably have to roll this over in the third segment. Sorry, guys. There's just a lot of stories. So, are we even to the clown worlds yet? No, we still got to do. Oh, geez, we got to do the green comet. Peanut sent us the green comet. So CNN World. This is from Space and Science section, which means it's absolutely true, even though it's done by Ashley Strickland. A green comet will appear in the night sky for the first time in 50,000 years. A recently discovered comet will soon make an appearance in the night sky after 50,000 years. Discovered, last year, March 2nd, by astronomers using the blah, blah, blah observatory in San Diego. Will make its closest approach to the sun on January 12th. So in 2 days. And, I'm pretty sure there was a zombie movie that started off with a green comet buzzing by the Earth. So take that for what it is. Somebody find the reference. Peanut, you're not going to be able to find it. But I'm pretty sure a green comet. So I can only hope. Please, please, please. What does that manifest? Zombies, green comet. Peanut says it's what, he already found it? Seriously? Night of the Comet. I'll be damned. Good one. Thanks, Peanut. Anyway, it has an orbit around the sun that passes through the outer reaches of the solar system, which is why it's taking such a long journey and a long time to swing by the Earth again. Blah, blah, blah. How they figured out it was coming by every 50,000 years, I don't know. But it's, again, another space reinforcement story. And
fake space.
And last but not least, we gotta get a break. Yeah, we'll save it until we get back. When we get back, we will do the clown worlds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them at least when we come back, and then I swear we will take your phone calls. The phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. That is 848-222-2480.
Yes.
Hey, Karen, what do we got for music?
We got this. Support local flat earthers. Grounded extracts. Like a plug into an outlet, nature is a key into the mind. Once there, it can clean out old chemical leftovers and nourish the mind and body. Life is regained. The road becomes joyful as clarity and self-awareness return. Herbs, roots, algae, and fungi have helped many of us heal, move closer to our goals, and gain control of true priorities over carnal desires. Join us in leaving the chemical, material world and enter into the natural realm, from farm to farm. These finest creations are handmade and are more potent than anything your corner co-op has to offer. Our products, excluding our tinctures, are made to order to assure freshness and maximum effectiveness, fusing together healing herbs with tasty counterparts to bring out full potentials. There is so much joy in working with the natural world given to us by our Creator. Let's take part.
Bohemian, I drink the juice, the chocolate milk, the holy cow. I wear the sneaks, tip up the beak, I'm a 33.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. It's you, me, and the always wonderful Karen B. So we are doing Clown Worlds finally. And the first one kind of surprised me. I mean, I got these Clown Worlds, most of them I got today. First one, I love this story because it's BBC. And what you probably didn't know is that let me just read the headline. YouTube star Logan Paul apologizes for crypto zoo project failure. I want to read this article for you. YouTuber Logan Paul has apologized to fans who lost money after investing in his cryptocurrency game Crypto Zoo. The 27-year-old, God, he's still only 27. Please, Lord, help me out here, or at least my team. Encouraged people to buy cryptocurrency collectibles for what he called a really fun game that makes you money. But more, feel free, by the way, to chime in on this, Karen, at any point. But more that after a year after its launch, no game has materialized. What? And Paul has apparently abandoned the project. Now, in response to another YouTuber's investigation into the business, Paul says he wants to make this right. Crypto Zoo was launched in 2021 after being discussed on Paul's podcast, Impulsive. Paul, who has more than 23 million YouTube subs, said he had spent probably about $1 million on developing Crypto Zoo and had a massive team behind the project. Yeah, okay, 10 guys or less isn't a massive team, but whatever. The Crypto Zoo website says it's undergoing upgrades. In a now deleted description, it was described as an autonomous ecosystem that allows zookeepers to buy, sell, and trade exotic animals and hybrids. I guarantee Logan Paul didn't write that because he wouldn't even know how to spell any of that. Crypto Zoo incorporates cryptocurrency and non-fungible or fungible?
Non-fungible tokens.
Non-fungible tokens, otherwise known as NFTs, onto a simple, fun game with familiar mechanics. And right below that is what was a snapshot of the website before it went down. Build your zoo, earn crypto. The project sold images of cartoon eggs as NFTs with the promise that collectors would be able to hatch them into randomly chosen animal images. Collectors would then be able to breed their animal images to create new species and win coins in a linked cryptocurrency called Zoo?
Yeah.
Is the dollar sign, is that pronounced as anything?
$sign zoo. Like they'll put that in front of usually for like the 3-letter tag for the crypto coin, whatever it is, or token.
So-called Zoo. In a since removed project roadmap, many games were promised in 2022 that would incorporate the animal NFT images, but no playable features were delivered. It is not known how many investors Crypto Zoo has, but the project's Discord server has about 500 members. However, after selling millions of dollars worth of NFTs and crypto coins, Paul stopped talking about Crypto Zoo and seemingly abandoned the project. His team hasn't responded to the BBC, but I got to read this part down here. Last month, cryptocurrency scam investigator Stephen Findison, known as CoffeeZilla on YouTube, began a 3-part video series about Crypto Zoo, calling it a scam. An American spoke to investors around the world who claimed to have spent hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars on Crypto Zoo items and were angry at Paul. In his videos that have had nearly 18 million views, CoffeeZilla accused Paul of scamming investors and abandoning them after selling worthless digital items. On Thursday, this is my favorite part. On Thursday, Paul posted an angry rebuttal video admitting that he made a mistake hiring con men and felons to run his project, but denied the failures were his fault.
Oh my God.
So you made a video and you said you hired criminals to run your crypto, but it's not your fault that you hired criminals. Did you know they were criminals? Because if you did, then it is your fault. Ass. Oh my God. He accused Mr. Fendelson of getting facts wrong and threatened to sue him in the video. But on Saturday, Paul deleted his video and apologized to the investigator. Did Paul's attorney call and say, idiot, take down that video as soon as possible? That video shouldn't be up there at all. There are going to be people coming after you wanting their money.
Yeah.
You've already admitted to guilt.
Yeah.
So He also wrote in the Crypto Zoo Discord page that he'd be taking accountability, apologizing, and coming forward with a plan in the near future. Where have I heard that before? No further details have been given how Paul plans to either reimburse investors or relaunch Crypto Zoo, blah, blah, blah. And then they mention, they go down and they show Paul, remember when he was in the suicide forest years ago? By the way, Paul has also been linked to the failed cryptocurrency coin Dink Doink, which he promoted in June of 21.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I believe.
Yeah, see, this is as far as NFTs goes, like I don't even get involved in this NFT stuff because it's like a scam. It's like you're buying like JPEGs and animations and stuff, and it's really lame. I don't know what they're doing.
As much as I enjoy the fact that Paul is crashing burning on yet another one of his scams.
Yeah.
And I wasn't necessarily jumping for joy when he tore his ACL when he was in doing the Wrestling Federation, but I did kind of chuckle a little bit. But no, my point here is, look, if you're gonna do crypto, that's one thing. But if you're buying crypto through Logan Paul, I have to question your judgment. I do. The guy's done nothing constructive in his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder if Robbie Davidson would have bought it from him back in the day.
I mean, I feel bad for those people, but you should always do your own research.
Yeah.
You know, buyer beware.
At the very least, at least Google the guy you're buying it from.
Yeah.
It's Logan freaking Paul. And by the way, somebody's going to come after him. Now, again, I'm not wishing harm upon him. And I'm not wishing at any point that, I don't know, Russian investors would have sunk any money into his product and then be like, get money, find him, bring him here, put him in box until we get money. Because, dude, you got to be careful anyway, to be continued. So if he disappears, I will start speculating then. Okay, a couple more clown worlds, and we'll wrap this thing up. Okay, I want to mention this one because this goes into the Lemmings non-player NPC thing, but we'll get into this, which is Fox News. This is the Peach Bowl girl, and don't scroll down yet, Karen. Don't scroll down because I want to say it's like, okay, in the producers world, in when it comes to sporting games, they always tell the camera guys, find pretty girls, find interesting people wearing face paint. You make sure they're not gross or anything, but find interesting people for the camera. And at the end of the game, they showed this girl. You can scroll down a little bit. They showed this girl. It's the first shot where she's got her hands to her lips, watching the game intently. It was the last seconds. They were going to kick a field goal. They were either going to win or lose. She doesn't go to Georgia or Ohio State. Her brother plays for Ohio State, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was on screen for 3 seconds. 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And immediately because guys are dumb, guys are pigs, they're idiots. They're like, this guy makes a TikTok video about her. It's like, she's wonderful. Somebody find out who she is. Translation, somebody dox her so I can find out who she is. So I can send her messages.
What a bunch of psychos.
I know, right? So her TikTok feed goes from 300 subs to 170,000 for 3 seconds. But it's like, okay, why is this news exactly? Why is this kind of a big deal? It's a big. We'll get to that in a second. I'll let you scroll down and figure out why. So, because it's like, look, camera guys finding pretty girls, that's nothing new, right? And yeah, she's cute, fine. She's got light blue eyes, sure. And her brother's playing on the field. I get it. We didn't know this when we were watching this. She was just some random girl. But it shows you how social media just amplifies things. Now, scroll down, Karen, and tell me what you see in the next shot. That's her.
33.
33. Hey, it's a twofer. Go figure. She's wearing a jersey 33. By the way, her brother's number, if you scroll down, is not 33. The guy with the massively square jawline, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the article, that's her brother. Good looking guy, I think, right? He's wearing 49s. Where the hell 33 come from? Don't know. Don't want to know. So the producers, they got everything they could possibly want. In this case, it's like, okay, we got a pretty girl at the end of the thing. And she's wearing a 33, but we're not even going to show the 33. We're just going to show her for a second. She's a lacrosse player, by the way, at Xavier. And this is what I love, which is because, she's not even 20. This is what the young set says. Now that she's blown up on social media, even though she hasn't done anything, she was absolutely garden variety, social media.
Mm-hmm.
She's now branding herself. Now she's all over this, which is even though her team lost, right, or her brother's team lost, she gets down there. The TikTok sensation alluded to opportunities she may pursue, giving her new status in the digital world,
of course,
hoping to do some good out of this, including promoting brands that align with what I like. And as a college athlete, she could promote women's sports. So there's a shot. She's got a new video. She's branding herself. She's now the Peach Bowl girl. That's her thing. And I was like, okay, all right, whatever. And you're thinking, okay, so this can't possibly get much traction. It can, if that's the narrative they want to spin. Moving down to the next article, which is not here, right? So that was Fox. Of course, Fox is going to cover it. Fox covers Pretty Girls, right? Oh no, this is Australia. This is the part that gets me, which is this the Star Wars kid. This is Australia, right? News.com.au, right? Identity of viral Peach Bowl girl from U.S. college football match revealed. Okay, first off, Australians do not care about American college football. They don't even care about American pro football for the most part. The only people that care about American pro football down in Australia are the tourists that came from here that are trying to figure out who scored what. But no, they're pushing this. This is, this is one of those stories. Now, this is the part that I want to get, and we'll get, which these three are all tied together, which is now the producers have found a formula. Since this spread out beyond the football realm into social media, now they found a formula. The new formula, I swear, you wait, it's going to happen. And that is, if it's a close game, at the end of the game, if it's a tense moment at the end of the game, I don't care if it's basketball or football, but definitely football, find the prettiest girl who seems the most anxious and just laser in on her. And then turn her into something. Why do I say that? Because the very next game, the Cotton Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, if you go to the YouTube link, this is from, you don't have to play the sound, but this is from Inside Edition, with their mere 11 million subs.
Mm-hmm.
Tulane girl from Cotton Bowl game reveals her identity. Now, initially, they call her the Tulane girl because initially she was called the nail biting girl. They've changed that title in the last 3 hours. And it's like, oh, look, you don't even have to play the video. You just look at that opening shot. That's now the new formula. It's like, oh, let's find the cutest girl of the bunch. Yeah, she's okay. Right. But she's nail biting during the last seconds of the game. This way we can turn her in, we can brand her and turn her into something that spreads out beyond the game. And the Lemmings go for it. I don't know what her subs are, but I guarantee she's a lot more popular.
Oh, Jesus.
Which, by the way, leads me to one more thing, a word of advice before we get to our last final clown world, which has nothing to do with football, which is, if you are a woman, this rule will never, ever change on the internet, and that is, do not put your contact information out there anywhere. You want to have an Instagram account, you want to have a TikTok account, that's fine. That's fine. Don't put your contact info out there ever to where people can find you. Definitely not email, and definitely not phone numbers. Because again, like what's her face, the girl from the Peach Bowl, if they would have truly doxed her and put her, somebody would like posted her number out there, she'd have to get a new phone because guys are idiots. Yeah. Guys are so weird. If you don't have to know them. I know guys that do this where it's like, they have a few drinks on them. It's like, that girl looks cute. I think she'd date me. Right. And they'll call. Doesn't matter. 2 a.m., 4 a.m. Don't care. Don't care. All right, moving on to the last, and then we'll take your calls. The last one, I thought it was kind of fun, which is the last clown world. This is from CNN. You got to know Wisconsin or that area. Fire at Wisconsin dairy plant leaves storm drains clogged with butter. So there was a milk plant in Wisconsin. Of course, that's where the cheapest dairy and the most dairy and the best dairy comes from in America, anyway. They had a fire there in the butter room. If you know anything about butter, that stuff is flammable, big time flammable, and it melted really, really fast. And most of it went into their special drain system and then hit the treatment facility and just completely clogged it with butter. And they downplayed. They said, well, only 20 gallons went into the street. Okay. What happened to the treatment plant? Well, they're working on it. So they had to clean out the entire treatment plant, which was jam packed full of butter.
Oh.
And Peanut, and by the way, Peanut's complaining because he said the price of butter has skyrocketed recently. It's one of those inflation things where like eggs have gone through the roof and butter has gone through the roof. In fact, how much is that's no joke? How much it costs? How much does butter cost right now per pound? Peanut, tell me, and then we'll take
like
phone calls.
$5 a pound average. It seems like.
Well, he says it's even higher now. It's like $5.78.
Oof.
Where he is. So anyway, there you go. Wisconsin, love it. Again, that's what I think a lot of news stories should be. Stuff like that. Yeah, fire at a milk factory, butter everywhere. It's great. It's awesome. And it didn't burn down. They were lucky. So click the link. I will click on the link, I swear. All right, let's go to the phones. I haven't even pulled up the phone lines. Phone lines 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. We're taking your calls. And the first one is gonna be 505. Let's just grab it. 505, what's happening, man?
Mark, Karen, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey, I didn't get a chance to listen live last week due to technical difficulties, but I did listen to the your replay on YouTube and about a day or two later.
Yeah.
So I got to get this off my chest first for the January 3rd show. Coming back from the break, that was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album Night and Day.
Thanks, man. Awesome.
Nobody caught it either. It was hysterical. I listened to the whole show.
What, we missed it last week?
Got it.
Did
yeah,
we miss it last week?
You missed it. Yep.
I thought you said it all messed up last week. Or was that the week before?
Didn't I say? Well, no, I screwed it up the week before. I don't know if I missed it last week. I thought it was pretty good last week, but now I'm gonna have to listen again. Hopefully, maybe. I mean, it could have gotten chopped in editing. But I'll check it out. Thank you though for.
Yeah, no, I hope I'm wrong.
Well, no, now I'm paranoid. So thank you for that. Now I'm literally gonna have to go to the first break of the show as soon as we're done here.
Well, you know, it was funny because you were so into that the Buffalo Bill story, you came right back in and you started talking about that again. And
you might be right.
And then that sentence, and nobody else caught it, which was like I couldn't believe it. Yeah, so that led me to a YouTube feast here on Joe Jackson, and wow, I didn't even realize like how many songs he had that I love that I didn't even know he had. You know, like Breaking Us in Two, and Is She Really Going Out with Him? And
that was one of my favorite 70s songs. Is She Really Going Out with Him? That partially defined the 70s for me.
Oh, absolutely. He I guess that was his big breakthrough hit from what I understand too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you know just fun stuff on Joe Jackson when I was looking into him. You know, that album, Night and Day, I don't know if you ever looked into this. I guess that's named after a Cole Porter song. And it's designed to have the feel of a 24-hour day in New York City. And I thought that was pretty cool.
The stepping out, it not only was it, it was perfectly aligned with what I saw, because for me, stepping out was again one of the first videos I ever watched on MTV when MTV first came out, and it was, if you watch the breakdown on him, it was his love affair with New York City. You know, he's British. A lot of people don't know that, and when he came to New York in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, he just absolutely fell in love with it. In fact, I was in New York in the early 80s for a little bit with my grandparents. They were trying to broaden me. And so when I saw that movie, that's the first thing I saw. It's like, wow, it's it's like this magical night in New York. And I knew almost nothing about New York. So very, very cool. I couldn't have been happier at the time. Truly a magical song for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it really is awesome. and he was nominated for that song in 1983 for a Grammy, but he lost to Rosanna by Toto.
Oh,
that's a total thievery. Yeah, there's no way.
Hit me all the way. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. That Toto song is catchy. Wasn't on any of my playlists, but I get it. I get it. Toto was a bigger also Toto was a bigger band than him. Politics plays so much a part in music.
Yeah.
Let's go all the way back to because Trey Parker from South Park was he is still even now a music snob. And I remember when Phil Collins won an Oscar over B.B. King for a Lifetime Achievement Award, got the Oscar, and Trey Parker did an episode of South Park where Phil Collins every once in a while was wheeled through on a stretcher where he was face down and there was an Oscar jammed up his ass. And I knew exactly why, because I had a friend who was a huge music snob who was watching the Oscars with me that night, and he walked out. I was having an Oscar party, totally straight saying that, having an Oscar party. And when Phil Collins won, he's like, that's it. Screw this. He goes, I'm out of here. And he left. And it's like, what the hell's wrong with him? It's like, don't know. But he was right. B.B. King, way more respected by musicians, most musicians than Phil Collins. Not knocking Phil Collins. I like some of his songs, but anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Moving on to I caught some of this. Are you guys saying that Adam Rich died? Is that from
oh yeah, he's dead.
Yes.
From eight is enough. Yeah.
Yeah, from eight. Was that the youngest kid?
Yeah, that was the youngest kid. And he was older, by the way, than I thought. He was older than what he played on screen, because he's my age, and I watched that show. It's like, wow, I don't remember watching that show when I was that young. He was just small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because I was starting to get that confused with the next one up, but that was Willie Ames, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, no. This was Adam Rich, and in fact, nobody's heard from Adam in a while. So this was kind of out of left field.
Right. Wow. Man, I know you had so many good stories. I don't even know. There's just so many things to rip on tonight. And I never heard of this Bitcoin or this crypto dink doink.
Doink.
I'm just saying.
Just again,
I think I'd steer clear of anything with
I don't care.
Anybody would put money into something called Dink Doink.
Yeah, I don't care what he's involved with. If you see a project that Logan Paul is tied to in any way, shape, or form,
exactly,
stay clear of it. I mean, he is just it's just so awful. I gotta remember his brother was being sued because he was the one that went on, on air and said, oh yeah, all boxing's fake. All boxing's rigged. The boxing industry, it's like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
I don't know if the lawsuit's moving forward, but he hasn't done a retraction either. So anyway, hate to do this to you, but we got a bunch of calls. You got any shout outs, anything you want to say?
Yeah, I'll just do some shout outs. Jan, of course, in Dallas, Amy in Syracuse, and Jesse and Brittany, and William in California. Everybody
right on, man.
Have a happy flat new year.
All right. Thanks. You have a good night.
Later.
Right.
Goodbye.
Bye. He was on hold for 94 minutes.
Wow.
And by the way, thank you, Karen, for the Rockfin chat from Pacific Northwest 360. We've been going to Whidbey Island since the 80s. My grandma lived in Freeland. Yeah, Freeland is literally, if you shot a gun in Freeland right now, I'd hear it. So somebody shoot a gun in Freeland. He fishes Birch Bay. Yeah. Very, very cool. Mm-hmm. Freeland. In fact, I was in Freeland just this morning picking up bird food. Yep. This kind of guy I am, picking up bird food.
Wild bird food or?
Yeah. Juncos and woodpeckers and finches and sparrows and a lot of forest birds.
Very nice.
Yeah. The occasional hawk will come in and scare them all away. All right, let's pick up 801. Peanut 801. You're on Strange World. What's happening? Oh crap! This will be the last call before the break. You got a couple minutes. Go 801. You're on mute.
Hello.
Oh, I'm putting it back on mute. Okay, we're gonna go.
Right,
to,
yeah.
We are gonna
We'll
go to
do
our
the break,
final break, and when we come back, I swear we'll do rapid fire. We will go with 612 469 613 646, and whoever else we can get to. So, Karen, let's do that last break music.
Alrighty, let's do that.
Oh, hey, wait! Before you hit the button. Don't worry. No, you're fine. You're
Alpha 33, target is on property, approaching food trailer. Engage Delta 9. Roger. Alpha 33, descending.
Hey, I know you.
Shh, they might be listening.
CIA?
Maybe.
Aliens?
Probably.
Globalists?
Definitely. I may have already said too much.
We have what you need.
Really?
It's flat
I'm listening.
and round
Go on.
and delicious.
Tell me the secret. I see the truth in it.
I thought you might.
This truly is a special place.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We move around quite a bit.
Ah, a mobile command center. A strong strategy. I like where your head's at.
Anything else?
I was never here.
Package intercepted. Copy that, Alpha 33. Come on back, let's eat.
Stole my burger.
Long live Flat Earth.
Long live Flat Earth!
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. It's you, me, and the always wonderful Karen B. We're taking phone calls, 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Nothing odd about that number. And yeah, Alex Lowry sent me a message during the break, and he goes, I did a cover for Africa by Toto.
Did he?
I'm looking at it. It's on YouTube. I think is it unlisted? No, he has the comments turned off. It's like, oh my God. Well, a number of people. In fact, it was featured in a movie recently. I will send it to Peanut. He goes, Peanut says, send it to me. Even though Peanut does not sound like David Weiss. All right, you know what? Just for that, we will pick up Alex and we will talk to him. All right, 646. You gonna sing a bar from Africa for me?
No, not live. I'm not gonna do that. I just caught the last half of that, and I was like, "What are you talking about, Toto?" I was like, "Oh shit, I did a cover of that a long time ago, and I can't believe I never sent that to you."
Yeah,
I think we did a good job, but who knows, man? I think that when Weezer did their cover of it, they just phoned it in, literally phoned it in. I don't know if you remember that one.
I did not, but then again, nah. I mean, they wrote some catcy stuff, sure, and they were a good band. They were very popular, but I wasn't one of mine. Although, who am I to say? I was a Hall & Oates guy for a while. So,
dude, Hall & Oates never fails.
No, they didn't.
Hall & Oates rules every time.
Hall & Oates. I remember there was a thing from I Love the 80s where I think it was some band members from a 90s band. They were cursing Hall & Oates. It's like, how did they keep writing stuff that's so catchy? It's yeah, it's true. All their stuff.
And it still works to this day. It's still good.
It's burned into your head.
I mean,
all I had to do, by the way, was John Hall had to switch from blues. Apparently, I did not know he was one of the best blues singers out there to pop. It's and the running joke was that everybody thought he was gay. No, I'm sorry. No, everybody thought that Oates was gay.
Oates was gay?
Daryl Hall.
He's also really short, or Oates is really short, I think.
Yeah.
Really
everybody
short.
thought Oates was the gay one because he had the mustache. It's no, it was Daryl Hall.
Yeah, I mean that.
How is anybody thinking
they were
was
writing
gay?
love songs about women?
Right. Well, come on.
That doesn't matter.
They tell everybody.
George Michael used to sing songs about women.
Yeah. Just make sure you use the word girl. Justin, are you listening? Use the word girl. Anyway, so I'm not picking on Justin.
I actually wanted, because I know most of the people that listen to your show already know this, but any noobs out there that are tuning into this for the first time, I thought I'd give I'm just going to go with the Wikipedia definition of NPC.
Yeah.
Just so it's out there. A non-player character, NPC, or non-playable character is any character in a game that is not controlled by a player.
Yeah.
The term originated in traditional tabletop role-playing games where it applies to characters controlled by the game master or referee rather than by another player. So that's an interesting thing to have now documented on your cool show here.
Yeah. It predates electronic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I use NPC all the time because it's the only way that I can actually describe somebody who's really not actually in this world. I mean, they don't even know what it is, so it doesn't hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like I'm going, basically, crushing them, because if you don't know what an NPC is, it's likely that you probably are an NPC if you don't know what that is.
Right. Right. Yeah. And you're programmed in such a way you're not going to hurt their feelings anyway. So it'd be like
that's the great thing about it. It's you can use these little letter combinations, and then the people that do pick up on that, when you say that, then you'll actually start talking to people in crowds, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I know what you're talking about." And the people that you think are NPCs, or maybe they're souls in the making, whatever we want to call it. I don't really know, but it's but you can avoid and you can walk through it without getting any shrapnel. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't yell at them for the same reason I don't yell at my Roomba when it bumps into something it's not supposed to. It's what's the point?
You're probably giving them an evil eye.
It's don't go in that room. You're not supposed to vacuum that room. I don't say things like that because, well, what's the point? Hey, by the way, Phoenix says, I've heard you yell at your vacuum cleaner. That's true, I do, but well, anyway. By the way, Peanut said he liked your version of Africa. He listened to it. He thought it was good.
Nice. Yeah, it's yeah. I thought it was great because we changed it up and we made it different. But who knows, man? I mean, it's Toto. If you listen to Toto play live these days, oh my God, it's like a train wreck. It's just awful. So like, and I thought that was a great song.
Yeah, it's hit or miss.
Super great song. Even though the words made no sense.
Right. It's hit or miss when bands get older. I mean, you know, you probably have seen some of the compilations like Vince Neil doing his stuff lately over the last few years.
God.
Whoa.
Bad news. It's bad news all the way around.
Whoa. But other people, you know, they really try. I heard Joe Jackson, who toured last year, was actually quite good. I had a friend that went to them in Seattle, and
I mean, I dig that tune. You know, he also did the music for Tucker. That I think it was a '90s movie with you know, the dude from The Big Lebowski or whatever.
Really, I didn't realize he did the movie for the music for Tucker.
Yeah.
Tucker, by the way, was
like before I got on here, I was like, okay.
Tucker is a
he
wonderful.
made Cars or something. It was like a car movie.
Yeah. It was a car. It was based on the car brand Tucker. In fact, that movie should be shown in every beginning economics class in the country. In that it was a car company that the big three, the other car companies ran out of business. There should have been a Tucker car for decades and decades, and they made sure it wasn't going to happen. It's like, nope, we're not sharing.
Yeah, they
we're
stamped it down.
Gonna force you out. Heck, I think Spielberg directed it.
Yeah, I remember watching that. It was a
I'll have
good
to go back
movie.
to that. I don't remember if he did or not, but I just watched it.
In fact, I'm 90% sure
2
because
hours
he and
ago.
George Lucas both own Tuckers. They both bought them because they wanted that story told.
That was when they used to make good movies still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good to talk to you guys. I'm gonna pop off. I know there's some more people calling.
Okay. Have a good one. See you, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, how much time we got left? We got plenty of time. Let's go out to 612 out in the Twin Cities. What's happening?
Hey, Mark, Karen, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
You can hear me. Okay. First time caller.
Right on.
Been listening to you guys for a long time. It was 2015 or 16 when I first saw Under the Dome, which would be The Clues.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, listen, guys, I was born in Australia. I spent the first 6 years of my life, since you mentioned it earlier a couple times in the show, moving from Australia to Minnesota, back to Australia, and then back to Minnesota, flying on those big airplanes. So anyway, I don't know if that drums up any questions for you guys, but my parents grew up in Adelaide, and I grew up here in Minnesota. So.
Oh, very, very cool. Did you have anything to do, by the way, with the?
It's an honor. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You're good.
No, it's an honor. Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, I was about to say, Adelaide is where if I'm not mistaken, where they're doing a tennis tournament right now.
Yeah, probably. Tennis is huge in Australia. So all of my uncles and cousins and everybody lives in Adelaide. And like I said, my parents grew up there. So, so listen, I know you got a lot of callers on the line. I have just a few things to say. Again, I've been a long time listener. It's the first time I've ever called into any show. So, it's interesting. So, like I said, I was woken back a long time ago. I have 2 kids. I've been pretty busy for most of my life. But one thing I wanted to say tonight was to everybody out there is about, all of our search for truth, and that, for me, it comes down to children. And if there's not much better things you can do out there than be there for children. There's so many children out there that are, with parents that are screwed up, that are just, unhappy and don't know what to do or abandoned. And the best thing any of us could all do is be there for the kids, as much as you can. I understand some people don't have kids and they grew up in tough families and that, but that's what I called in to say tonight. And, that's about it. So.
Oh, thank you. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Any shout outs? And by the way, you did great for your first call.
Definitely shout outs to David Rife, Jenny Sparks from Minnesota, the whole crew out here, Lao Sing Chan, who did some work for the Guru's book, the children's book, and all you guys, David Weiss, got the app from and got everything set up. So anyway, guys, I appreciate it. I know you got a lot of calls. Thank you for taking the call.
Thank you. Thank you. You have a good night, okay?
Yeah, you guys too.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
How much time we got left? We got time. We got a lot of calls. Let's go to Canada since it's long distance. 613 Canada. What's happening up in Ontario, eh?
Hey, how's it going, man? I just got off work. I just wanted to give you a call in. I'm sorry for the cell phone reception. How do I sound now?
You sound pretty good. You sound a little gravelly though. What's happening?
Yeah, sorry about that, man. Is my cell phone? I walked away in the basement. Let's just say that. And so, what's going on today? We'll have to talk now.
Oh, so you're calling us in secret? That's what's happening. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm calling in secret, man. I'm here at Camp David then.
Camp David? I don't think they're doing anything right now at Camp David.
Wet, man.
That's right. So you've never called into the show before, have you?
He's gone.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, crap. He dropped because he went to the basement to make a secret call. That's okay. We'll move on. Let's do 469. You know what? Stay up and no, let's do 469. 469. What's happening?
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, earlier I was the one. I was muted. I was doing something. How are you guys?
We are good. How old are you? Are you old enough to use this phone?
I'm 20. Oh, I have my own apartment and I go to work every day.
Well, you sound young.
I know. I sound like a kid. I'm 20. Yeah, I'm 24.
Wow. All right. Well, I stand corrected.
I called in when I found you guys on my feed, I was like, oh, let me check them out, and I subscribed and I called in before.
I think I remember now you calling before. Yeah.
I must be getting old. Everybody sounds young.
Yes.
What's that? What's going on?
I wanted to talk about when you guys were talking about the article with the pretty girls and things like that.
Yeah.
You pointed out the number 33, right?
Yeah.
So in that picture, actually, there was another number in there, which was number 42, and that number is associated, with the N word, and so it's like, I really question, did they take that picture purposely, and then the score number was 42, and then the girl wore the jersey 33. So at the end of the day, what is it?
Hard to say. Law of averages says that eventually you're going to run into a combination like that. If you're a producer, you're looking at tons and tons of numbers on jerseys all over the stadium, and you're picking and choosing. So did they get lucky and is the score on the board? Can they kind of relate it and do a little numerology of their own? Sure. Why not? Do I think she was naturally there wearing the number 33? Probably. Yeah. Why not? Because they didn't want, like, the shot they showed on TV didn't actually show her jersey number. It was only the snapshots from the ground that showed her jersey number. So I don't know, maybe. I think they just got a twofer though in the end. That's why they made it so popular.
Yeah. So another one, it's the year of the Skull and Bones, and George W. Bush was associated with that group.
True.
And the number that's associated with George W. Bush.
Yeah.
You mean 322?
322.
Yeah. But in the gematria, the ordinal is 76. So he was born on July 6, 1946, which would mean the 7th month, and he was born on the 7th day. And then he's 76 years old.
Who?
George Bush Jr.?
George W. Bush.
Might be right. You listen to Marty Leeds sometimes, don't you?
No, Marty doesn't talk about that.
Doesn't he? Who am I thinking of? Oh, that other guy on Truth
Oh,
Frequency
no.
Radio, the guy that
I do my own little research, because I try to put the pieces together myself. It's just the coincidences. It's like I'm trying to think, like, is it a coincidence or is it just, me putting numbers together and they just so happen to.
No,
Really,
I
wanted
got
to
you.
ask you guys, what did you guys think about that?
Well, I think they definitely use certain numbers all the time.
Yeah.
Almost like a gang sign or like a signature, like it's almost like they're telling you that they're involved in it without telling you they're involved in it. You know what I mean? And other
Yeah.
times, I think the universe just shows us those numbers. I mean, we are looking for it too. I think you just have to
Right.
consider it on a case by case basis. But yeah.
Yeah, I found it like really, really like weird because I was like, wait, because it's like he was born July 6th and then he's 76, and then this year it's the Skull and Bones thing. So it's like, wow. And then Yale University. So it's just like, like you said, sometimes you get shown these things or the gang signs type of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if something happens with George Bush this year. Then I guess.
Yeah. Just keep your eye out. I think you're. I think
Yep.
you're headed in the right direction.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to be looking out for it, but if I see it, I'm gonna come back and be like, "Hey guys, remember what we was talking about?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely do. I like those calls.
Only time would tell. Only time would tell.
Exactly.
Shoot, I'm trying to think if there was anything else.
Well, if you can think of it.
There was an article not too long back, and they were speaking about how they found another artifact saying that the Earth may be however many years older than they expect it to be, and it's just like that happens every so many years, and it's just like, if we get told that they keep finding stuff, like what else is, could possibly be, a bit of a lie or not the truth. It's like they keep telling us that the Earth is longer than what we expected it to be, type thing.
Yeah, that's just a bunch of like wannabe astrophysicists trying to prove their worth or justify the funding for the university or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
They got to make up new
Yeah.
stories.
hate to do this to you, but we're running a little low on time. Gotta let you go. Any quick shout outs before I send you away?
Oh yeah, shout out to the Truth Stream Media. They're a good channel. Shout out to my mom, and I think that's it.
Okay. Well, you have a good night. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
All right.
Mhm.
Talk soon. Bye. All right, we're gonna do Oklahoma. Peanut's like pointing me over this. I was like, I don't know. 405 Oklahoma. Have you called in before?
I have.
Oh, you.
Can you hear me?
Seriously?
Huh?
So?
Hello?
Mark,
Hello?
can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you very well.
Can you hear
Really?
us?
Hold on. How about now?
Better.
And
he hung up. All right, we will pick up one more before the oh crap. Now everything has. Oh, you know what? While we're waiting, you know what? I might as well.
Oh wait.
All right. Well, before I pick him up real fast, I want to mention this, which is Joe Jackson. Sure enough, I looked this up. Did get a Grammy nomination for in 1989 for Tucker. He did the entire soundtrack for Tucker. He was nominated. So was Fatal Attraction was nominated, Empire of the Sun, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Well, it takes me back. But who won was the soundtrack for The Last Emperor.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
That was
And
Christian Bale's movie when he was a little boy. No, no, not
No. You're thinking
I'm
of
thinking of Empire of the Sun.
Empire of the Sun. Yeah.
The Last Emperor. No, I that was about the Chinese emperors.
Yeah, the young emperor.
was
Yeah,
good
I mean,
too.
it was good. It was a great sweeping epic.
That's
All
when
right.
they have really cool costumes in movies, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
like, used to like make an effort, and they didn't always rely on special effects.
Oh, no,
Movies used to be pretty good.
They did. I mean, a lot of practical effects, not a lot of green screen. Okay, we'll pick up. We're gonna do Oklahoma City for just a little bit, then we will grab 845. All right, Oklahoma. We'll give you one more chance for at least a couple minutes, then we gotta move on. What's up?
Hey, Mark, Karen, it's Doug.
Hey.
Hi.
I got your email, Karen. I'm looking forward to my shirts, man.
Okay, well, the shirt guy's got to make them for me.
No, I know. And the lanyards, whenever you get the shirts, I really missed out on the best Flattoberfest ever, and it just breaks my heart.
Well, there's going to be another one, and it'll be good too. They're all good.
Karen was mentioning to me before the show. She said you are a bad person, specifically. So.
Well, we'll be there unless somebody dies 2 days before Flattoberfest. We'll be there.
All right. Cool. Anything else?
But I just wanted to call in and say I love you guys. Keep up the great work. And no, I'm just kidding. Okay, guys.
All right. Later.
Thanks. Have a good one. All right. Before we pick up the last call, I should mention there was an email that I got. Karen got it too. I'm not mistaken, from Nick. And I was just looking at the spacesucks.co website. Pretty cool, because we're going to get some stuff from there. And then eventually we may talk to them. So Space Sucks is spelled space and then SUX, a little tick on SpaceX, if I'm not mistaken, .co. And they've got some cool swag, all in black, a little bit in white, but all sorts of stuff. Hats and bags and water bottles and tank tops and wow, all sorts of stuff. Fanny packs, phone covers.
I lost the link. You need to send it to me again.
Really? It's just spacesucks.co.
Oh.
Space
It
SUX.
wasn't showing up in my history because I already looked at it.
Peanut put it in chat for you as well. But yeah, it's going to be a kind of cool thing. So we will see how that goes, and we'll get some stuff from them and show it off on air. With that, let's bring in 845, shall we? Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it with Space Sucks.
New York.
Thank you.
Wow. Hello.
Hey.
Holy cow.
That's how quick I am.
Yes. You're a man eater, Mark. That's all I got.
Oh, Hall and Oates.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I don't go for that.
Got gay at your Oscar party.
No can do.
Yeah, that song. I mean, seriously, Hall and Oates songs are going to haunt me for the rest of my life. Although I used to, when my clock radio would go off and I Can't Go For That would play, it was the greatest thing to wake up to, because it was such a smooth, kind of, in and out melody, and it was just wonderful. Good stuff.
Yeah, definitely good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, how about that second pulmonary issue listed as a contusion? What the hell, man?
Oh, the brain bruise, or I'm sorry, the lung bruise. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you wonder if they're lying.
The second NFL player.
Yeah. The guy from the Rams. You don't know. Again, we don't know if they're telling the truth. If you're the NFL, you may tell your teams, no matter what happens to them, it's not heart related. Do whatever it takes. They will make sure they will turn this in a certain direction. But we'll see. I'm kind of curious myself. The playoffs aren't going to last very long, and then they get their downtime. I mean, seriously, the Super Bowl could not come fast enough for the NFL right now.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
They got to get out of the season. They got to get out fast. The college teams, those bowl games are done for the most part, except for what is the final game? Is the finals hasn't happened yet, right? That the whole Georgia Texas Christian University thing.
How come that hasn't happened multiple times on the battlefield? They
Oh, yeah,
wear
that too.
chest plates, trauma plates to displace the pressure, and they get hit with rifle rounds, and they don't have pulmonary contusions. I mean, I know it hurts, but what the hell, man?
It doesn't matter. Denial is a powerful, powerful thing, and the lemmings / NPCs / idiots / people they denial means you will believe what you want to believe in that case. It's because they don't want to believe it. Because in this case, it's like, yeah, he didn't die. It's fine. He just got hit in the chest really hard. Because if they think this, again, remember, don't forget what happened to the other players. From what I understand, I've been reading the articles. The NFL absolutely won that game to keep going. And the other players are like, yeah, no, we've been scared half to death. We're leaving. Because not scared to death for him, for them.
The dude died, man. Homie died. I think we can go home today.
Yeah. And well, again, not just dead. Well, of course, they revived him. Not just dead, but dead for something that we also were tied to, and we've been just holding our breath for weeks and months.
Yeah.
So no, this is, again, the Super Bowl, the teams, honestly, I swear there's probably players out there. It's like, please don't let us go to the Super Bowl. Please don't let us go to the Super Bowl. Just knock us out. Get us out of here.
I want to go home. I want to go home.
I want to go home. I mean, it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna, not playing as hard as they should. Type deal.
Right. Absolutely. They're going to be nervous.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And the worst part, I don't want to drag this out because we got to wrap up the show here in a bit, which is they're going to be that's added stress. It's going to compound. So not only were they thinking about it, but now they're really thinking about it on the field. And yeah, do you go 110%? Yeah. Does 110% really mean what it should now? Whatever. Anyway, here, give us your quotes and whatever else.
Hey, I was just going to say that balancing rock is horseshit that it's been there for that long. Come on. Some American tourists from New Jersey would have come and pushed it over.
No, because they didn't know it was there. I didn't even know it was there till today. I've seen a lot of weird stuff over the years, and this one.
And the Korean animation. Come on, they should have used Afghanistan animation. All right, here.
Nice.
Sorry. Here's my quote. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Mark Twain.
That's good. I had not heard that one from Mark Twain.
Give it a fucking shot. 2023. What the fuck?
Mark Twain, the publisher of my favorite book. Well, no, the unpublished book. Mysterious Stranger by Mark Twain. A dark tale, not one of his usually things. If you've never found a copy, go out online. You can find a PDF of it out there. It's really, really interesting. All right. Any shout outs, Zulu?
Yes, to everybody. Shout out to you, Karen, Brian, everybody. Just try and fucking do better and have a good year. Shout out to myself. What the fuck?
All right, then. With that, we will wrap this one up. Say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Say goodnight, Zulu.
Good night, Zulu.
And Peanut just puffs through a wall of smoke. And let's do the final music. Oh, we'll be back next week. Same flat time, same flat channel.
Yes.
And Pod Sex.
Pod Sex.
Good night, everybody.
Ever been
it's ever been. Wound up chasing stars all over again. There's words for what you got, what you have, and what you'll ever need. There's love so many